to the year 2025.
Is that what year it is?
The year of our Lord. The year of the...
Tiger shark.
I wish you cared about the Chinese calendar at all.
Tell me it's not the tiger shark. Tell me it's not.
I can tell you with 100% certainty, it is not the year of the tiger shark.
Well,
according to the calendar, I think we all know that there's a lot of good tiger shark energy.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And it is, in a sense, the year of the tiger shark.
Don't count the tiger shark out.
Right.
He's coming at you.
I loved when you see that animal list that they do the year of the, or you find out your friends like the snake or something cool, and then there's the year of the rat.
Always the year of the rat.
There's always the year of the rat.
I mean, that's better. That's better than like the year of the chicken. I'd rather be a rat than a chicken.
I'm weighing that over, and I think you're right. There are redeemable rats. Ratatouille, Splinter from Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about redeemable. I was thinking just qualities in general that, like, yeah, it's cunning. Evil villain.
Scrappy.
I could be a villain.
Yeah.
I know that's a stretch for me to be a bit of a villain.
Right.
But I could be a rat. And then it turns out I'm a good rat.
Right. Friendly rat.
Like Splinter.
Right.
Well, not friendly, but good.
That's some character work you just did.
Well,
Wow.
I'm a storyteller.
Well, guys, we're here. We're in a new year. You're here. Tim's here. I'm here. Welcome to the Bible is Funny podcast. Today we are launching into the new year with a Christian movie, and it's a subject that's been on everybody's mind.
Honestly, a little bit since I watched the film, because I watched a long time ago now, like weeks ago.
Sometime last year.
Yeah, sometime last year. But then we all got sick and we couldn't record. So yeah, like since then I listened to another podcast about this subject.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
Well, kind of about the subject, yeah.
Oh, just loosely connected.
I mean, not. It was the subject matter expert was like, this is his deal.
Guys, we're talking about aliens.
Yes.
We're talking about aliens today on Christian Movies Are Funny. This is a special segment here on the podcast. We consume and discuss Christian movies, and we're talking about aliens. What was the alien podcast you listened to? I have to know now.
Well, it was just with Luis Elizondo.
Okay.
And so it was just hearing him talk about
he was a guest.
His experience, yes, his experience with like what he knows, what he's allowed to talk about. He's like former CIA something astrophysicist, like, and I love the way he talks about this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So where are you right at this moment? When it comes to aliens?
I'm Creed. I'm standing here with arms wide open. I embrace.
You're 6 feet from the edge?
In a good way. I'm going to the edge.
I am Creed.
And you can take me higher.
Yeah.
I love the idea. I love exploring the idea of like a sort of otherworldly phenomenon, but then like, and then I love how Luis Elizondo explains it like, no, it's not necessarily otherworldly. Like there's stuff that's in this world that exists that we can't see. Including but not limited to like bacteria. Like you eventually see them, but we couldn't see them for so long. But then they were there the whole time. We just didn't have the tools to be able to see them. And so now we're talking about stuff that exists, that's around, that maybe is at a frequency or a size that we can't fathom it or understand it. I love it.
I love it.
I know you're already into this stuff.
I love it. I'm deep on this one.
I won't mock you anymore about it.
I just love the conversation. I mean, from the beginning, I remember first thoughts on this. And there's people come from different places in the alien discussion. That's why I think it's such a fun discussion. Some people, someone in our film we're about to discuss, they're kind of the stand. And honestly, like, I think she would not mind me saying this. This is kind of my wife's position. Is like, I don't want to think about it. Like, I got a lot going on. I got things. I got people.
That's how my wife is, but with numbers and math.
I just don't want to think about it. It's too vast. And truly, like when you think about the concepts of space, you're like, it's so ridiculous.
It's so fun.
How do you get your head around? You can't possibly, like, space is too much for all of us. So if you're like, alien, I don't know, maybe not. But when you, like, right away, when you get your head around how much is out there, to me, it's always been like, do you think aliens are out there? Like, you have to think something is out there. Like, there's no, mathematically, you can't be like, there's nothing anywhere else in the expanse of the galaxy worth talking about.
I'm with you.
I just can't, I could never live there.
It's not enough, like, that logic doesn't prove to me anything. But that's what keeps me like, yeah, probably. Like, I'm not going to, like, shut it down. But
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't prove it.
Certainly not.
But probably.
But there's at least probably a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would suggest there's just when you do the like kind of try to wrap your head around, there's more of a chance than there is not a chance. Because it would be a lot of no's. Like when you start thinking about how many planets, how many, galaxies, there's a lot. You'd have to come up empty a lot of times.
Right. When there's the we got to get to the podcast, but to the movie, but when there's the idea that like each grain of sand that's on our planet,
right,
represents not one planet,
right,
that's out there,
right,
in the universe,
right.
Each grain of sand represents like 6 billion planets that could be out there. You're like, that's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot.
Right. It's like, would you win the lottery if you played it 100 bajillion times? Yeah, probably.
There's a decent
At
chance.
some point, you're going to win that darn lottery. So I love this subject. And then you get mixed into this subject, which is why I love this topic so much. Something that's been in the news semi-recently. You had this stuff in New Jersey. You had these drones.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a bunch of stuff that it's like, people are obviously seeing something. It's something. You can't throw it away under like, oh, a crazy person saw a smudge in a photo. The Loch Ness Monster stuff, where you're like, oh, this is 2 decent photos of something that might be something. It's like, no. A lot of people, same area, are seeing something. And nobody knows what it is. Somebody knows what it is, but nobody wants to say, or someone has a clue as to what it is. You would think. So what it makes for is just the most fun little playground of sandbox where you just can throw sand everywhere, and as long as it doesn't get in your eyes, it's a fun time. I love this subject.
I love that that's how you play in a sandbox.
You gotta watch your eyes.
Throw sand wherever you want.
You don't want to see a speck of sand in your brother's eye.
But a camel
then they're gonna be
goes
mad
through
at
a
you.
needle. What? Oh, wait.
Okay, we are talking about a Christian movie. That is how we got on the subject. The Christian movie is called Unidentified. Again, quickly. That's Tim. I'm Anthony. This is a Bible is Funny podcast. Special segment we call Christian Movies Are Funny. We consume and then discuss Christian movies. Today, this movie is from 2006. I called it the Cosmic Christian Movie, Unidentified. Tim, what should the people know about this movie before we discuss it any further?
This film was written and directed by Rich Cristiano. He's also the same guy that did The Secrets of Jonathan Sperry.
Okay.
I know, these are pretty wildly different.
Okay.
He seems like he's kind of out there. Which is funny because The Secrets of Jonathan Sperry was so boring. And the story would just, was so vanilla. And then this one is about aliens and demons. And
sure
whatnot.
Is.
This film stars Jonathan Elbe as Keith. And the second I saw him, like his picture, I was like, this guy looks like a soap opera actor. And it turns out I was right.
Okay.
He was on an episode of All My Children. He was also in Chihuahua, the movie. Which is a big deal.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua? Or
It just says Chihuahua, the movie, and it's a dog. There's a dog. on the cover.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anyway, what else? Josh Adamson as Brad. Mark Bosley as Randy the mechanic. Stars Michael Blaine Rosgay as Darren, and he was an extra in Avatar, so that's how you know.
Come on.
Yeah, we got movie clout here. Jenna Bailey as Lauren. Sewell Whitney as Roy, the journalist boss, and Rebecca St. James as Colleen.
St. James.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't, I'll be honest, I didn't listen to a lot of her music growing up.
Okay.
So I couldn't even identify her. But then I did, and now I get it.
I'll say I didn't recognize her at first.
Right. And then you hear the Australian accent.
Heard the Australian accent.
Kind of gives it away.
Kind of looked, and then, boy, she was an early crush. Rebecca St. James in the youth group days.
Sure, I don't know. I never knew what she looked like, but now I do. Rebecca, you seem like a fine young lady who's now old, probably.
Not that old. What do we need? Defending Rebecca St. James. I just remember having an early crush on Rebecca St. That's all I remember.
Okay,
all you're able to listen to is Christian music, and then Rebecca. It's like.
You need to go take a cold shower.
The Gaithers singing, and then you get like Rebecca St. James. Yeah. Wait, there's another one too. I'm not gonna remember her name, and it's not even Bethany Dillon. Just hit me, Bethany Dillon, early youth group crush. If you know, you know.
Mine was Sandy Patty.
What was the comedian that would go around? What was her name? Oh, come on, you do.
Ellen DeGeneres.
No, he's a Christian comedian. Dog. That's going to haunt me. Maybe it'll hit me like Bethany Dillon did. All right. Anything else we need to know?
No, that's it as far as the technical stuff. But I can give you my IMDb synopsis of the film.
Tell the people a little bit.
It's not very long. There it is. Two reporters investigate a series of UFO sightings and discover a supernatural connection. That's it.
Okay.
I know.
All right. So now we've kind of wet the palate a little bit. That's your amuse-bouche, if you will. I'm going to do a little bit of a more thorough synopsis. Before I do, I'll give our disclaimer that I like to give us here. We're going to discuss this movie that we watched here with you, the listeners. We don't like this practice to make people feel uncomfortable with creating things, okay? No. You're going to make stuff. It's going to go out there into the world. That is a daunting and scary process. We do it. We've done it. And we don't want this to just be about criticizing for the sake of criticism. We are consuming what was made and put out into the world. And we're going to discuss it here together with our friends. Whatever you make, take your time, make it well, make it good, talk to people, get other opinions to help you refine that story and make it as good as it can be. And then you send that puppy out into the world and you let that puppy grow up to be a big, strong dog and then lead a pack of dogs and it's a wolf.
I think you've gone too far.
Here's my more thorough synopsis, which we'll discuss. Then
spoiler alert.
The spoilers will happen now. So if you want to go watch this movie, it's in the show notes. It's free on YouTube. You can watch it, and then you're more up to speed with what we talk about. If you would like to just kind of continue on with our podcast here, you can do that. I'll give you a moment to leave if that's what you're going to do. And we're back with the full synopsis. Spoilers aplenty. In a world where biased news runs rampant, people are divided, and professional adults drink fruit punch on the job. Only one magazine seeks to find the truth. Both Sides magazine. That's right, while most journalism only presents one angle, within each story, there are a seemingly limitless amount of considerations, a variety of different perspectives, and hundreds of noteworthy facets. And at Both Sides magazine, they're not afraid to present both of them. Both Sides magazine takes on the centuries-old question of aliens with an investigation headed up by their top reporters, Casual Christian Keith and Bad Boy Brit Brad. An obvious theme appears as the team interviews alien abductees and discovers Kelly is a witch. Randy subscribes to Hot Babes of Summer. and Tommy likes to fish. These people have clearly turned their backs on God. The spiritual connections become unavoidable after a mysterious old man makes some shocking revelations to the team. Then they pull a classic rapture prank on Brad, and everyone laughs as the fruit punch flows and the alien demons slowly begin their takeover of Earth. And that's the movie Unidentified.
Oh my gosh. What a great synopsis.
Everyone's up to speed. A lot of people probably saw it in '06, but that's almost 20 years ago now. So they're up to speed. Everyone's with us. We can discuss freely.
Let's do it.
Tim, tell me something that was shocking to you about this movie.
Most shocking is that the magazine's graphic designer was still employed.
So glad you're bringing this up.
Every magazine cover that's around that office is exactly the same. They just changed the photo in the back. Like the layout, there's nothing different about each one.
Right.
That was funny. Yeah, literally all the same.
I'm so glad you said that because to put a perspective, the office is only decorated with these covers, and so they're huge and they're very distracting in every scene that takes place in the office. And the creativity of these covers is as much as like one Google search connected to a keyword on the cover. That's it. Mm-hmm. So it'll be like, is gene therapy something we should do? And it'll be like, I don't know, a medical, like the ambulance sign with the snake on the pole or something. Like they were so bad. I was so glad you brought that up. Mine was alluded to in the summary. It was just that a group of adult professionals would order apple juice and fruit punch regularly. And specifically fruit punch, because we all know, like, you can do some juice. You can do a cold pressed juice. You can get some nice juices.
This was 2006, man.
You are straight up
cold pressed juice was not as readily available.
Fruit punch. Who are you?
Do you think it's fruit punch flavored like Gatorade? Because that's the only fruit punch I've ever, like. That would be the unless only you're at a party where fruit punch
where there is punch.
Yes, you're getting fruit punch flavored whatever drink it is, or fruit punch flavored. Jolly Rancher.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. All of that. Totally. When you're the premise here, they're taking orders in an office, and somebody's running to get drinks for the team.
They already know. They've seen the movie.
You guys, you get it. And they're like, where it would be.
It's like, hey, we're going on a coffee run. And
I'll take a latte. I'll take a cappuccino. None of that happens. Instead, everyone starts chiming in childhood juice choices. I don't understand. Like, you're all adults.
I wouldn't bet against Rich Cristiano sort of being like anti-coffee.
Okay, Seventh-day Advent is what I was thinking, because they don't do that.
Extra, yeah.
I did have that thought. I was like, maybe he's like appealing to a group by saying, even so, like you say, a Gatorade is a more normal order.
It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Can you run to the local shop and get me a Gatorade?
Can I get a latte? Can I get a cappuccino? Do you think they have Pacific Cooler? Like the Capri Sun, Jerry? No, I don't. It's a Starbucks. Oh, okay. I guess I'll take an iced coffee. That was shocking to me. Give me a character you wanted to see less of.
Darren.
100%. Same.
Darren knows everything about aliens. Darren also knows everything about God.
That's right.
And also everything else Darren knows about. Great to have these kinds of people around. His identification of the witch.
Oh my. Darren was so difficult watching this movie.
So bad.
I'm honestly mad he was an extra on Avatar. Can I be upset about that casting choice?
I think that's okay.
There was somebody better to be the extra on Avatar.
His line when she leaves and she's like, Mary Part. It's like, oh, that's what witches say. She's a witch.
I know all about witches.
And
aliens.
Name me a subject I don't know everything about. But
I know.
It's witches.
You try. Because it's impossible. I know it all. And he's just so abrasive with everybody.
Yeah.
He's like in their business.
Yeah.
He does ask the guy, he's like, what's the mechanic? Randy. He asks Randy, how long have you been looking at those magazines in your truck? And Randy goes, that's actually none of your business. And I'm like, yes, correct. You snooped in a man's truck and then you confronted him about the contents. You don't know this man. You are an investigative journalist. Darren. Did not care for Darren.
No.
The actor's probably a lovely guy. Yours? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were just so intense, so unnecessarily rude to everyone. Everything. Darren, I don't know. I struggled with that character. Yeah. Character you want to see more of?
This is very specific, and somehow I caught her name, but it was Kelly Fowler.
Yeah.
And my favorite part was her locking up the building at work, and she's the only car in the parking lot with the worst parking job. Like, she parks horizontally. This is probably why she's afraid of the aliens.
Yeah.
And then she sees something and goes to run to her car, trips on her way, fumbles getting her keys, like slips and falls. She can't get in her car. Uh-huh. And I mean, one of my favorite, it was my favorite moment, I think, in the movie. But then she can't get in her car and she's fumbling with her keys. And it's like, hey, as if getting in your car is going to protect you from this thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, no, I can't get my hood over my head. The aliens are going to get me unless I get my hood over my head. Oh, thank God I'm safe. They can't see me now.
Right.
Such an idiot.
Yeah, she was great. Wait, did you say more of?
I wanted to see more of that, like that sort of interaction.
Okay.
I had an honorable mention. But.
Along the same lines, I want to point out, so they go to her house, and like Darren does, he's ransacking through all of her personal possessions, and he's like, so you have a lot of books on the supernatural? And she's like, yeah, I'm into the supernatural. And he's like, so do you know about God? And she's like, what's that? And he's like, that, and then another time he's like, the devil. And she's like, the devil? What's that? Kelly, what's in the books? You're not even gently touching on either of these subjects? Like, what are the books full of? I gotta wonder.
That's for the next film to tell us.
Well, that's why we want to see more, because Kelly was full of mystery. A lot of intrigue around Kelly. Okay, you had an honorable mention. I want to say, I'll give you mine real quick. My more of, and this is like this is like a specific thing. The character I want to see more of was the relational dynamics between Randy and Karen, his wife. So here's what I'll give you. Randy is the first alien interaction we see. He's like abducted. As I alluded to, he reads dirty magazines. He's a mechanic.
They're not that dirty though. That's the thing.
Hot Babes of Summer was the title. So Randy, I'm just painting the picture of a character. Mechanic, drives a big truck out in the middle of nowhere, reads dirty magazines. His wife Karen seems to be a devoted witch. Has witch books around, says Mary part to her strangers that walk in. And there's this really, to me, what is the potential for a really funny offshoot like sitcom, because Karen walks in at one point and is like, would you men like anything to drink? And she's just like totally like a very stereotypical witch, not like an I Dream of Jeannie fun magic thing, not
a hocus pocus witch,
like just like I have no soul because I've sold it to the devil. And then Randy is just like a blue collar bro. He's like inviting the guys over. And I'm just like, these two have been living together. There's a lot of I want insight into Randy's got his fantasy football draft, and Karen's trying to like do a pentagram in the middle of the table. He's like, Karen, I can't see who my keepers are.
That's good. I accept that. No, I believe it.
I won't move my Horcruxes for you again, Randy. I can't find them again. That was my character I want to see more of. That dynamic. What was your honorable mention?
So my honorable mention was kind of weird, but it was Brad to some degree, and I know Brad was kind of the worst. Mm. He wasn't the lovable like winner of the story,
right?
But like there was a moment where Keith was like, Brad, I'm starting to like you less and less, and that was the moment that I was like, oh, but I'm kind of starting to like Brad more. And then, and Brad was funny because his theory for like everything was that everybody's drunk. Like, if you've seen something strange, you were drinking. Though,
You
right?
were drinking.
It's like Brad. Okay, not every. Okay, that's not how alcohol works.
Right.
But yeah, okay.
Everybody was, or dumb. I think he kept defaulting to like, I bet you they didn't graduate high school.
Yeah, but it seemed like every question was you were drinking though, right?
Well, but I think
the kids, they were drinking.
Brad. Do you think he was a Brit?
No.
You think he was Australian? Okay.
Yeah.
I called him a Brit in the summary, and then afterward I was like, he might have been Australian.
No, the alliteration in the summary was why I didn't correct it.
Okay.
Because it sounded good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you did good.
Thank you.
Did good there.
All right, let's do... okay, this is going to be a new category this year, and I think we can do it pretty quickly. What character in the movie reminded you of me? And then I'm going to do what character reminded me of you.
Okay, why don't you go first? I want to hear.
Okay, because it's just the easiest. You were Brad. Brad is you're obviously Brad. He dresses well. He's clearly like the best looking one on the set by a million, and he's smart. He's witty. He honestly is like. Although the story did not want us to think so, he was the most relatable, likable. He kind of had like a tinge of what's the word I'm looking for, where you're like you're concerned, you think there's like a ruse going on. Suspicious. He's suspicious the whole time of all these supernatural things, and you were obviously Brett. It was a pretty straightforward connection.
Yeah, I get that. I think that's why I proposed that this question, this field, because I kind of saw myself as Brad.
Yeah,
and I was a little bit ashamed, but then especially when I started to like him more, I was like, dang it. That might be me.
Yeah.
I thought you were most like Randy, the mechanic, Randy the mechanic. Easygoing, like I'm just trying to mind my own business here. I'm just trying to do my thing. I'm just trying to live my life.
Yeah.
And here's my witch wife coming in. Just kidding. It's not against Rachel. Just want to let everybody know that.
No, nothing to do.
No. But like, yeah, your wife's got her own thing going on. Not witchcraft.
Yeah.
For the record. But yeah, just trying to live your life, man.
Just doing it.
And then the aliens show up, and now you're like, well, I don't really want to talk about it. But
right.
Okay, I'll talk about it. Because you're not going for attention here. You're not making a big show.
Tell me that's not a great sitcom premise.
I agree. I'm with you.
Randy the mechanic, Karen, his witch wife, and the starting thing, episode 1, he gets visited by aliens, and we're just like off on the sitcom, and they keep coming back to him in his dreams. Another version. This is a very funny sitcom.
Let's make it.
What I've got. We could. It's completely based on this super obscure Christian movie no one knows, as the long anticipated follow up to the 2006 movie Unidentified. Okay, low point. Low points. What do you got?
Low points were the montages. and that's plural because there were several montages that just didn't move the story along. The first one starts after they pray, and I think Randy got saved from his Girls in Bikinis magazine. His addiction to looking at girls in bikinis in a magazine while you're spending money on a magazine. And anyway, don't worry about it. The internet was around back then. And then the montage at the end when the article finally comes out
of everyone,
and it's like everyone in town is reading about the UFOs to no end. There's no like
just reading.
There's no resolution.
Right.
There's 100 people reading like all together. Like this is the biggest news that's ever come out in this town.
Yeah.
We're gonna get in our whatever, the Both Sides magazine. Flip through there and see what did we miss? What do we need to catch this week? And everybody's reading it.
Everybody had to, and then they all sided with Brad. Mm-hmm. That's what they told us. Mm-hmm. They all sided with Brad.
I would too.
As you've already said. I didn't know what to do with low points on this one. The one that came to mind was when Darian said Mary part to the witch when she walked away. I just was like, this is so brutal. But then I was like, but Darren was so brutal the whole time. I don't know. There were a lot of low points for me. I think one of my low points I would also like to shout out was after the Rapture prank, Darren shows up and he goes, how come you never get me a drink? I like fruit punch. And I don't know how to tell this for the user. I'll put the clip on Instagram for sure. The word fruit punch is then said 8 times in like 22 seconds. Not in a comedic, like intentionally comedic way. He's like, why don't you get me a drink? I like fruit punch. And then, and it starts with the woman that works in the office. I forget her name. She's like, where is my fruit punch? And then Darren says, why didn't anybody get me a fruit punch? I like fruit punch. And then another character says, you like fruit punch? I didn't know you like fruit punch. I also like fruit punch. And it was like, did fruit punch sponsor the movie? Did High C are they? This is the most obvious product placement. These are grown adults, and we have said the word fruit punch too many times in this short amount of time.
I can tell this is very upsetting to you.
I like writing. Like, writing is a thing for me, and in these movies, sometimes when it's cheesy, writing can be fun. It's its own kind of thing. It's like cheese in a wrapper. To use a cheesy analogy, is it good cheese? No, but it can do its thing. You make grilled cheese with that, and it'd be lovely.
I can grill that.
Fruit punch. Like, there's so many drinks to choose from in the world of adults, and you chose fruit punch, and I need a reason. I feel like, did you ever see that SNL skit with Ryan Gosling about the Avatar font?
Oh yeah,
when he's like. He just haunts him at night.
Papyrus font.
I am there with fruit punch in this movie. Why did you choose fruit punch? Why did you say it so many times? I'm going to meet Rich Cristino one day, and I'm going to ask him. Okay, sorry. I went off the rails. It's the first podcast of 2025, and I'm already falling apart. Give me a high point, Tim.
My high point, besides Kelly tripping all over herself, getting away from the aliens,
right.
Was the kid JT, I think his name was, when he's telling the story, like the ghost story.
Oh, yeah.
And he just goes on this sort of rant, and he's like, did the attendant do it? No. Did the gardener do it? No. Did a guest do it? No. Did your mom do it? No. And it keeps like cutting away from him and coming back. Did a bus driver do it? No. I'm like, can you resolve this, please? I was on the edge of my seat that whole time.
And then he just yells the butler did it at the end or something, right?
Yeah. Like the resolution wasn't great, but it was just, it seemed funny to me that like he was sort of stringing these people along in this story, yeah. And I was in for the bit. I after, when you hit 3, there's the rule of 3s in comedy. When you hit the third one, it's like, okay, we got our funny bit, and then the next one, if you hit a 4th one, then like that's like an extra level of it just keeps kind of going, and if you do that long enough, then you'll get me laughing.
Yeah,
that's good.
It was good. You're right.
But again, it wasn't for comedy, I don't think, but it felt like it. So
no, it was It was a perfectly askew kind of ghost storytelling. It was good. Yeah, that's good. My high point was the 2 old men at the diner, which I did side by side them because I feel like I've made this comparison on the podcast before. But the old men from the Muppets. They are. And the way that they would both like guffaw,
yes,
as they were making, I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're the old men from the Muppets."
Yeah, and how uncomfortably close they sat to
right
each
on
other.
top of each other, and they're just sitting there yucking it up.
Yeah, they're about to make out at the diner,
and they just hit it off with Brad, and they were a high point for me.
I'm with you. I like them too.
Okay. Well, we've covered a lot of ground here in the movie Unidentified. Tim, let's give the people what they come here for. How many raised hand emojis out of 5 do you give Unidentified?
I'm trying to think of a redeeming part or something that would make you even want to see the film. And I can't. I don't know that I can give a 0. I can give a half,
A half of one hand.
A half of one hand. That's
I see that hand.
This is what you're getting. One of my favorite quote that came from IMDb that people like submit, they'll write their own little reviews. Wrote, "The themes displayed throughout the film will certainly make the viewer think and talk about these issues.
Yeah.
Aside from this, avoid Unidentified if you're a sci-fi fan. Watch Planet of the Apes instead." to review a movie and say give a specific other movie to watch instead. I love it.
A specific, not.
No, it's not even close.
Adjacent at
all. No, it's not. It's not even in the genre.
Like if you were like, watch Signs or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. There's I guess a comp.
Yeah, no, it's like no, just change. Just don't do anything near this movie.
Just watch Dumb and Dumber instead of this. It's not bad advice. I mean, truthfully.
Right.
Oh, that's funny. I like a segment where we add our favorite review from IMDb to the Christian movie review. We pull one favorite.
Believe it or not, most of the films that you people make me watch don't have a review on IMDb.
Some of them have had some funny ones on Google.
Some have, there have been some out there.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, these aren't highly watched films for a reason.
Because other people are afraid.
Because they're afraid to.
They don't want to talk about it. We do talk about it. I have an answer to how many raised hand emojis out of 5 I give it.
Yeah, what do you got? Is that 2 or is that 4?
I don't know. It's a 0, guys. There's nothing good here. There's nothing good here. I'm sorry. I wanted there to be.
This is how bad it is. When Anthony gives something a 0, I even gave it a half.
I almost wanted them to articulate their actual... Because, we've said this before, and it's my favorite way to explain Christian movies. It's a conversation somebody had in a shower where they won an argument, and then they decided to make that conversation into a whole movie, and that's how you get God's Not Dead.
They were having the argument with themselves.
With themselves. So they're yelling at a college professor, boop, 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 God's Not Dead gets made. That's what they do. They don't want to hear from the other person. They want to just yell their point in a way. And that's fine. People make art for all kinds of reasons. This, I was like, I would love to even hear what your thought is on aliens. But truthfully, so they're positioning kind of that, I guess aliens are demons, but then not all alien encounters are real. They sort of
aliens
acknowledge
are demons, but not all demons are aliens.
They sort of acknowledge that some of them are fake, and then this guy, the mysterious old man, is like, I worked for this government agency, and yeah, it's true, a lot of them were fake, but then some of them were kind of weird. See you guys later. And they're like, I don't know. It was unclear the point of the whole.
It was lighting a firework and then watching the wick fizzle out.
We've used that before, and it stands here. I think also the montage of everybody reading, that's what they were also left with, was kind of like, what am I supposed to take away from this? Mm-hmm. It wasn't much here, guys.
Thanks everybody for suggesting this one.
This one was my fault. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, I picked this one because of the drones, and I thought it would be topical. And I was like, I don't know, let's watch Alien.
I mean, it was bad. That wasn't why we got into this.
We hit on that.
But we knew it was going to happen.
So there you go. That is Unidentified, 2006 Christian movie. We watched it.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it.
Sure did.
Hey guys, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for being here. We do love getting your recommendations for movies. I like it because it means Tim's mad at somebody that's not me. So
once.
Please chime in. Give us an idea for what we should do for our next Christian movie. Follow along at The Bible is Funny on Instagram. That's where you can send us your suggestions. And we'll talk to you again here real soon. Tim, you have any last words for the people?
No, I don't. Go home. Be safe. Hug your families. The demon aliens are coming.
Bye.
See ya.